Leopold the First was the second son of Ferdinand the Third, from Ferdinand's first wife, Maria Anne of Spain. Leopold I was made heir apparent after the death of his eldest brother, Ferdinand the Fourth, where he ruled Croatia, Hungary, Bohemia, and was the Holy Roman Emperor as well. He was considered to be a short, thin man, reserved in public, and still open with close friends. Devout and loyal to the Catholic Church and reigned from the beginning as defensive and reserved, Leopold I was cousin to both King Louis VI as well as King Louis VII, losing the Netherlands to King Louis VI over a rivalry and getting it back from King Louis VII with a treaty. After King Louis VII became king, like King Louis VII, Leopold I was well educated. He spoke several languages and studied history, natural science, literature, astronomy, alchemy, and was interested in music. His teachings, though, were intended for the church and taught to him by Jesuit tutors, interrupted by his eldest brother's death due to smallpox. Like Leopold's cousin's death, King Louis VI and King Louis VII to the west, Leopold was known for his conflicts with the Ottoman Empire, and after 10 years of war was victorious against the Ottomans in a war known as the Turkish War. Leopold I fought three wars: the Dutch War, the Nine-Year War, and the Spanish Succession. He had plans to take all of the Spanish lands, giving them to his sons and disregarding the Spanish kings altogether. Like with the Turkish War, Leopold would start a war that would engulf all of Europe, a war which went on well after his death, and in the end Hungary could neither say they had won nor lost. It's the Second Northern War, the Deluge. King Charles X of Sweden is attempting to claim the throne of Poland with the support of Georgy II Rákóczi, Prince of Transylvania. Previously, Fernando III had allied King John II Casimir Bassa of Poland, and the alliance had extended into Leopold I's reign, including, of course, payment by Poland. Because of this alliance with King John II, Leopold I helped defeat Transylvania and campaigned further into Denmark, resulting in the Treaty of Alloa. Leopold's treaty Leopold's treaty with the Turks after the Turkish War created civil war and conflict between Hungary, the Ottomans, as well as any outside influences, and within Hungary themselves. Because of Louis VI's aggression against Dutch, German, and Austrian kingdoms, Leopold I was constantly at war with his cousin, Louis VII, while also having with the Northern War and Giorgio II Rákóczi over Poland, dealing also with uprising and civil war within his own country. At a young age, Georgi II Rákóczi, as his mother's wish, was converted to Calvinism and renounced Catholicism. With Poland in mind, Rákóczi also allied with Sweden, Moldavia, and Wallachia against Poland. It was recorded that in the battle with Poland, a lot of blood was shed, but Rákóczi ended up without an army and dethroned by the Turks. Transylvania was a tributary of the Ottoman Empire, and Rakogzi was involved in an unauthorized war. Still within Georgie II, Still within Georgie II Rakogzi's lifetime, his son Francis I Rakogzi was appointed prince. Because of his father, though, the Ottoman had declared that no Rakogzi was to ever sit on the throne again, preventing Francis from ever gaining his father's statue and legacy. Francis I Rakogzi then decided to retreat back to real estate in Royal Hungary. Georgi II Rakogzi died at the hands of the Ottomans, and his wife, who converted to Calvinism because of his marriage, converted back to Catholicism. Francis converted to Catholicism also, gaining favor with the Catholic Habsburg court and appointed count in 1664. Francis I Rakogzi married a Croatian countess also and joined the Wasiliani conspiracy, which opposed the treaty between the Holy Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire. The conspiracy consisted of the Order of the Golden Fleece, the Teutonic Knights, and the Holy Crown of Hungary. Though it was not a part of the crown's sovereignty, the founder of the conspiracy, Magnate Ferenc Wasiliani, was only a knave in the Order of the Golden Fleece, and not a royal member, which would have forbidden him of being a member of any other order. Also, the Teutonic Knights were supposed to have been expelled from Transylvania in the early 1200s, making things easily confusing. Francis I Rakogzi eventually, though, became the leader of the conspiracy because of the conspiracy's anti-Habsburg strategism. It also created an armed uprising of noblemen in Upper Hungary, which ended in utter defeat. All of the nobles were executed except for Francis I Rakogzi because of the ransom of a few castles and money and his mother's participation in the Counter-Reformation movement. The Order of the Golden Fleece was an order of chivalry formed in 1430 by Philip III, Duke of Burgundy. The formation of the order was in celebration of the marriage between himself and a Portuguese princess. It grew into one of the most prestigious orders of the Holy Roman Empire and still exists today. Eventually, the order was absorbed into the Habsburg Empire with Burgundy and hundred over with Burgundy and handed over to the Spanish kings of Habsburg until 1700. The order was then succeeded by Philip V of Bourbon over a dispute between Philip and the Spanish pretender on the throne at the time. This eventually led to the War of the Spanish Succession, resulting in the split of the Order of the Golden Fleece, consisting of two branches. The Austrian fleece dissolved through the Austrian fleece dissolved though after World War I, leaving only the Spanish fleece. There were controversies within the Spanish fleece about allowing non-Catholics into the order and also allowing Isabella II and Napoleon and his brother into the order as well, which were all against the order's belief and challenged by the Spanish nobles. The Austrian fleece didn't suffer any of the problems that the Spanish fleece suffered. They remained loyal to only Catholic nobles, and inheritances were always given to the husband and not the wife. After the collapse of the Austrian fleece after World War I, the treasure of the fleece was taken into possession by Charles I of Austria. That caused another dispute as well. The order was restricted to only a certain number of knights. At first, only 24 knights could be members, then growing to 30 members and again increasing to 50 members. The knights in the order received more privilege than other orders of knighthood. Non-royal members could not hold membership within any other orders. Each knight would consult with the order before going to war, and all conflicts between members were resolved within the order. The knights could claim rights to be tried by their fellows or charged of rebellion, heresy, and treason. King Charles V even gave full jurisdiction over all. During the meetings, actions of the members were reviewed. Punishments were also dealt out concerning crimes committed by members. They were not arrested. Instead, members of the order would be taken into custody by fellow knights of the order. First, they had to receive a warrant from the order, and the warrant had to be signed by at least 6 knights for the warrant to be served.